On this episode, I'm touching base on law school, mortgages, everything I've been doing in 2023, how I became a branch manager at 25 years old, how I've grown my business over 400% year over year. If you're interested in any of these topics, this is the episode for you.
If you're watching this episode and you still haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Subscribe now. It's free. Also, hit the like button and the notification bell. Share this episode with a friend. Don't forget to shop your real estate merch on our website. Real Estate and Chill, bringing you the hottest real estate interviews. Let's get it.
Welcome back to the newest episode of the Real Estate and Chill podcast. I'm your host, James Choudhury, branch manager at Cliffco Mortgage, here for all your residential financial needs, here with
Kevin Iglesias, associate real estate broker. If you're looking for a referral partner in New York, on Long Island, make sure you hit my line. You can slide into the DMs, contact me. I'm here for you. I'm excited. Let's get it, man. We're going to dive in.
We're going to dive in today.
A lot has changed since we started this whole platform.
Yeah.
We've both grown exponentially a lot.
Especially in the past year.
Yes, definitely. So let's dive into it, man. You've been accomplishing some amazing things.
I appreciate
some
it.
challenging things. And I always tell people that you have to get uncomfortable, right? You have to get super uncomfortable. You can't stay stagnant. If you're comfortable, there's no room for growth. So you got to get used to being uncomfortable.
100%.
Let's dive into it, man. So you're a loan officer, branch manager, and now you're in law school.
Yeah, I know. It's so crazy.
It's a lot.
We never even touched base about law school or anything like this whole year on this podcast, which is so funny.
Well,
we touched base on, like, I feel like we always talk about so many different things. We never even touch base on, like, ourselves, like what the different things that we've been doing is. So I think it's important for everybody to learn from our experiences and what we've done and what we're continuing to do, because I think a lot of people can take some things away from that.
100%. I mean, look, we have a lot of amazing guests, right? Every episode is $1 million episode, but don't get it confused. Don't get it twisted. We are big names as well.
2014 Forest Hill Drives, no features. That's what we're going to do from now on.
So
we're
dive
actually
into it, man.
we're not going to have any guests on the podcast anymore. No, I'm just playing. Imagine.
But let's dive into it. How are you doing all this? Because look, just running one business is a lot of work in its own. So time management, everybody wants to know how to time block. You know, how can I get better with my time management? What's your secrets? What's the secret sauce?
I'll go into it for the first time. I don't really even touch base on it, because whenever people ask me, how are you in law school and doing mortgages at the same time, I literally just say, I'm just crazy. Like, that's just all it is, because it honestly feels like it.
You honestly have to be, though, right?
It honestly feels like I'm just crazy, because I'm just so dedicated onto what I'm trying to do. And it's just at a point where I have to balance two difficult things at the same time. But I don't think there's been any lapse in either one of the two. Like, we work business-wise together, and a lot of people literally told me on the business side that your communication has gotten better since you went to law school, because I've changed up a few different things. First thing being, this has not been something that I just woke up one morning and I was like, all right, I'm going to law school tomorrow. Like, this has been in the works for years, and I've always wanted to do this. It was just the timing had to be right? You can't move on to another craft until you master a craft. You can't start two completely brand new things and expect to be great at both of them. You got to master your craft first, and then if time permits, then you can move on to something else.
Right. I completely agree with you. Like they say, jack of all trades, master of none.
Exactly.
So you got to be, super intellectual, if that's even a word.
Yeah, I think it is.
And one aspect in one business, so you could do other things.
Exactly. And I feel like this was something that I needed to take on now, because the thing is, I'm not saying this to brag at all by any means. It's just, I knew that with what I'm doing now, if I don't do this now, I won't do it.
But what made you get into that, though? Like, it's two different fields, right? It's like, what made you say, all right, I want to become an attorney?
It's my skill set, and it's something that I've wanted to do since I was, like, a kid. You know how, like, when you have goals as a kid, sometimes people lose track of these things, and, like, they end up doing things they don't want to do. They dream about something. Like, if you look at, like, my elementary school yearbook, like, it says future profession, and it says lawyer on it. Like, that's always what I wanted to do. And I feel like now the time is where I'm 25, I want to start my career off early. it's something that can work hand in hand with mortgages if I do plan on going in the real estate attorney route. I'm not sure yet if that's what I want to do. But honestly, on top of everything else, I just feel like I wasn't learning as much as I wanted to. I feel like I've learned a lot and I stopped taking in new information because I feel like I thought I knew a lot and I was like, all right, what can I really learn? So if you stop learning, your brain just like changes. And I was like, I feel like I should always be learning. And the fact that I don't feel like I'm learning as much right now is I should shift and like rewire my brain into learning again. And ever since I have, like, it's actually been helping me so much more because a lot of people would find this funny, but like I hate reading. Like I absolutely hate reading. And the fact that I'm going to law school and have to read like 200 pages a night, like I'm forcing myself to do these things because it makes me uncomfortable. I don't want to do it, but I should be doing things that make me uncomfortable. I should be doing things that make me struggle because like I'm not satisfied with like living an easy life. Like I have to struggle because that's a part of life. You know what I mean?
What challenges have you faced like along the way? And like, how do you time block? Like, how do you manage time?
So my day in itself, Monday through Friday, is pretty crazy. Like school starts 7 o'clock. I'm out the door at 7 o'clock, going to class from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. After that, I can go in the office, right? In that time frame, what I've built out like for this exact moment was delegation and making sure that I have partners in place. And this is kind of why I started off the team and everything, because I knew I got to the point where law school aside, just business wise, communication is the most important factor in any transaction, right? Everyone always has to be taken care of in terms of communication. So I built out systems in place to make sure that everyone always has constant communication. Even if it's not with me, it's at least with somebody, right? So I have 2 people who automatically work on every single deal from start to finish. No matter what the case is, no matter what deal it is, there's always 2 people on the deal. It's me and somebody else. Because when I do that, if I'm not available for any reason, one or another, because even mortgage wise, right? I'm mostly focused on business development and structuring businesses and helping my referral partners grow their businesses. That's my main play. If like loan side of it, I come in to price out, to fix pricing, to sell the deal, close the deal, and fix any problems that there is. Everything else, I don't really need to be there for, right? So if I don't need to be there for that, and my time could be better used in other places, I should be doing that. I should be doing where I needed to be, not what is like busy stuff that I could trust somebody else to do that. That's not why people pay me like for what I do, right? So why would I be the one that even needs to do it?
I agree with you. You know, they say you got to delegate in order to elevate, right?
Right.
And in my business, same thing. You got to have certain systems, certain things in place, and do dollar producing activities, right? So I completely agree with you. And it's funny that you kind of touched base on it. It's like, what's your strategies in order to, you know, time block and managing everything else? But you just said it, systems, having the right systems, having the right automations, that plays a key factor in any success, right?
Yeah.
A good entrepreneur, a good CEO knows that he needs to hire people to put them in the position that they need to play in order to help the business grow even more. And one thing I always say too is that you got to hire people who are smarter than you, people who know more than you. And it doesn't matter what their age is, right? Because I'll give you an example. Look at Mike, young guy, younger than both of you and I, and he's super tech savvy, right?
Right.
So it's always important to align yourself with the right people and hire the right people to help you grow.
Yeah.
As far as like exponential growth, I mean, you've had, I feel like, record-breaking quarters now.
Yeah.
Like, I've seen you come such a long way, and I'm super proud of you, man. Like,
I appreciate you, bro.
I remember when you first started, and you were making cold calls, making relationships with realtors, and now your business has skyrocketed.
Same thing goes to you, bro.
Yes, your business has skyrocketed. And what was your goal, right? Because for me, like, I had a goal in mind, and I knew that I had to hit certain goals and certain things in my mind that I wanted to accomplish. Like, what was that look? How did that look like for you? Like, did you know, like, yo, I was going to get to this level. It was just a matter of time. Like, give us a breakdown of that.
So no matter what, I feel like in this industry, it's so easy to feel demoralized. It's so easy to feel like I'm putting in all my time into this and I'm not getting the results that I want. And it's so easy for people to turn away because of that and think, all right, well, I didn't close a deal in my first 6 months, so like this isn't for me. But I'll tell you this, like the first 4 years, I don't even know how long I've been in the business now, 6 or almost 7 years now, which is crazy. But like the first couple of years, like I wasn't making like crazy amounts of money. Like I wasn't closing deals left or right. I wasn't even closing loans my first 3 years. I was in business development and like helping other people. So you got to give yourself some time. You got to realize that like, even though you have a goal, like make goals that you want. And I'm not trying to bring anybody down by saying this, but also make realistic goals. Because if you make a goal of like doing 1,000 deals a year in 2024, when right now you're doing 7, it's more likely than not that that's not going to happen. I'm not saying it's possible, but more likely than not that that's not going to happen, right? Set realistic goals that keep you happy, because when you break down that big goal of, let's say you did 10 this year, you want to do 25 next year. We would both agree that's a very attainable goal. Like if you could do 10, you could do 20.
Oh, without 100%. A doubt.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, just build out everything you need to do to get to that second place. Make realistic expectations, because if you don't hit your goals, you're going to be upset. Like no matter what, you're going to be sad about it, because you're going to like, all right, I really wanted to hit this. I didn't hit it. But make realistic goals, set out things. If you exceed your goals, you're going to be even happier. Set out like a big goal, but break it down into multiple small little goals. I'm not saying if you did 10, aim for 12. I'm saying like aim for a goal that's going to be very difficult for you to reach, right? But make sure that it's attainable, because you can actually do it. You want to make sure that every single day when you think about it, you're thinking about that goal every single day, and everything that you do is strategic to the point where you know that that's going to help you get to that goal, right? So my goal for this year was 50 loans throughout the year, personal, not including the team, just by myself. And I'm happy to say like I far exceeded that goal, but like it was realistic. I'm happy with how this year went out, because I set out the goals, I set out the systems in place to make sure that everything I do is towards that goal. And honestly, like the systems that I had to set in place for this has been like a lot of people say to me like a lot like, oh, you just blew up out of nowhere. And I'm like, no, it's not that I just blew up out of nowhere. It's like I've been working towards this for the past couple of years, and it's finally happening. It was bound to happen at some point. I knew it was bound to happen. You know, I don't give up. I know you don't give up. Like that's just not how we're like built. But like it was just like the result of years and years and years of putting things into this, and like all of it pays off at some point, right? And it's going to continue to go in the future, obviously, but don't get let down by like if you're in your first year or second year and you're not closing 100 deals a year like Kevin, like it's okay. Like you'll get there at some point. Just don't like put yourself down over it, you know?
I completely agree, and it's funny that you say that, because like when we first started this, you weren't where you are now, right? Yeah. And there's always haters, and there's always people who say things, but I saw that in you. Like I knew how hungry you were, and even though you weren't in that position that you are now, I knew that you would get to that point. So just seeing how everything came to fruition and like your hard work put in action, now you're reaping the benefits. Now you became a branch manager. Now you're accomplishing things that I'm sure you dreamed about. Yeah. It just shows you that hard work pays off. And again, one thing is that when you're being inconsistent, how do you expect to be successful?
Right. 100%.
I only sold 2 houses my first year.
I think I did 1 loan for my brother my first year.
Bro, that's horrible. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's not even a deal a month, you know, selling 2 houses. That's basically like, yo, I sold a house in 6 months and I sold another house in the next 6 months. Like, that's terrible. You know what I mean? But you got to know what your why is. You got to stay true to what your goals are, right? Yeah. And obviously you did. So as a young entrepreneur, being 25 years old, man, and accomplishing so much, and again, I applaud you and much success to you, man. You've accomplished amazing things and are doing amazing things. How do you take leadership role at 25 years old? Because people like, I feel like when they're younger, they're always looked at as like, what does this guy know? You know what I mean? Like, how do you take that leadership role? And what's the strategies for you, you know, being so young?
I think in like the situation that I'm in, where I feel like how old I am doesn't matter as much as how much experience I have, because I go based off of that, right? Because somebody could be 40 years old and I'm 25, but I have way more experience than they do. Is it easier to work for somebody who's 40 years old other than 25 years old? Yes, but does it really matter? Like, I really don't think so, because like people know what I'm doing, what I'm capable of doing, and I'm only here to like help grow everyone else around me, right? So it's not even a matter of like the way I work is I'm very easy to work with, and I'm always just there to catch any slips or anything like that because that's just all I know. So I feel like it's not weird that I'm 25, but I really don't think it matters because it's really your demeanor, like how you act, like how mature you are. Because yeah, there are a lot of 25-year-olds who only care about like going out like every single night and doing stuff like that. Of course there are, but like it also does help that I look like I'm like 40. So, I mean, that does help too, but like, it's just the maturity level and like what you're able to do. And like, the proof is always in the pudding, right? Like, what have you done in the past year? What have you accomplished in your career? How can you help me grow? And as long as I can show you what I can do for you and what I've done, how I'm going to help you go up to the next level, it's as easy as that, you know? Would I work for somebody who's younger than me? I would. I don't see any problem with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
share some of like the challenges and the rewards of leading a team at such a young age.
Honestly, there's two. I'm gonna be fully transparent. There's like two things that are very, like, I'm very grateful for, and then like, well, there's one thing I'm really grateful for. One thing I'm like, it's a little tough. One is you have people relying on you, right? Like people have to like take care of themselves and like they're starting their lives and like you're responsible for helping build somebody up and they are depending on you to be that person that leads them through, right? Like you can do everything you can and if somebody doesn't make it, that's on them. But you have to know that you did everything in your power to help them as much as possible, right? So I think that's like one of the things that I like because I really like being able to guide people and helping them get to the next level. One thing that is a little difficult is going back to law school, like from 7 a.m. to 12, I'm not really, like, I can't really be on the phone much.
If you're watching this episode and you still haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Subscribe now. It's free. Also, hit the like button and the notification bell. Share this episode with a friend. Don't forget to shop your real estate merch on our website. Real Estate and Chill, bringing you the hottest real estate interviews. Let's get it.
You know, so let me just stop you right there. If you can't be on the phone and you're running, you know, a tremendous business, what systems have you put in place? Like, what does that look like for people who obviously want the information and like, yo, I want to grow and I want to put those systems in place? Like, what systems do you have in place that have helped you be unavailable from 7 in the morning to 12 noon? Because as you know, being in this business, your phone is always ringing, right?
Of course.
Always a fire to put out, always a problem you got to solve. What systems are in place in order for you to do so and be successful at it?
So what I do is from 7 to 12, I can't pick up the phone while I'm in class, right? But if somebody texts me, they will get an answer within the hour from me personally. The thing is though, what I've seen is that the people who I work with know already. You got to be transparent. Like I don't try to hide anything because I'm like, if I try to hide, you need something from me at 10 o'clock in the morning. And like, if I'm not there, like you're going to be worried. You're going to be like, where's James? I can't reach him, whatever. But if you tell somebody, hey, look, I'm not available at this time, but as you know, Patrick, like my right hand who literally helps me with like everything, every single file, every single real estate agent who I work with, every single referral partner, or Eddie Bowden who like helps me with everybody as well. Those two people will always be in contact with somebody. So if you can't reach me, you know for a fact you can reach them because they are on high alert at those times because they know I'm not there. So in those time frames, anything that I can do, they can also handle as well. I don't need to be there in those situations. If there's a big problem, I would have known about it beforehand. I've never had a situation where like a deal's about to die within the hour. You know what I mean? Like that doesn't happen. We can always figure things out. And it's just a situation where as long as somebody's responsible for it, that's why for me, it's constant communication. If I'm not available, somebody's there for you. There will never be a situation where you won't be able to reach out. You won't be able to get in contact about some of your files or anything like that. That will never happen. It's never been the case, and I'm not about to start now, you know?
So explain, like, what tasks do you delegate, right? Because, again, if somebody wants to do what you're doing, like, and they have no idea how to get to that level, like what should somebody else be doing for me? Like what, you know what I mean? What are those tasks? What are those automations?
So what I do is we have CRMs in place that are going to make sure that when you're dealing with, okay, so I want to take a step back before we go into that. So let's say, for example, you wanted to close 50 transactions a year, right? In order to close 50 transactions, you have to take it from the end and like reverse engineer it to the beginning, right? 50 transactions, what percent of deals that are in contract end up closing? Mine is around, let's just say I don't think I've even not closed a deal this year, but let's just say for the average person, it's what, 90%? I think it should be at least 90%. So let's just say if you had 60 deals submitted, 50 closed, right? You have 60 deals there that were submitted. How many deals go from pre-approval to submission with full contracts, right? Let's say out of pre-approvals to submissions, you have, let's say 200 pre-approvals. Out of those 200, 60 end up being submitted. That's 200 people right there that you already automatically have to be in contact with to have 50 deals closed. Reverse engineer that again. How many prospects do you have that don't even actually end up getting pre-approved, like that go from there, right? Let's say at least double that number. Like at least 50% of the people I speak to don't end up getting pre-approved or don't end up qualifying or don't do anything. So that's 400 people. That's 400 conversations that you need to have a year in order to close 50 deals, right? That was the main thing that I was thinking before I even went into it. How can I have 400 phone calls, make sure that I'm on top of everything, and make sure that I can at least handle all of this business before I take on something else? So what I do is initial phone calls, I always make initial phone calls. I need to make sure that I have a plan for somebody in order for them to purchase a home, because that's where the main start of it is, right? If you make sure that somebody has a plan, spend some time with them on the pre-approval process, explain everything to them, and they know all the things that they need to know, they're not going to keep calling you, right? If you already tell them everything, then what are they going to question you about? So if I can knock that out of the way first, let them know everything they need to know, then I'm going to save myself like a lot of time. Then when we go into the pre-approval process, I automatically link them up with somebody who I work with right after the phone call happens. They send out the blend link. They send out, whatever loan officer system you use, they send out the link. They handle it. From there, they get the documentation in. The next thing we go into is pricing. I always handle pricing, and I always make sure that they're getting the best rates. I always shop around for them, find everything for them, make sure that their situation is good. I give them a 7-page template on what they need to. You've seen it before, the forecasting of exactly what the house is going to look like in the next 10 years, how much equity they're going to have, what their monthly payment breakdown is. Give them everything in writing so they have everything. The more information you give to people, I keep saying it because it's true, the less questions they will have, the less calls you're going to get inbound to you at 10 in the morning or whatever time. You're saving yourself so much time by doing that. After that point, once the deal's submitted, they're already situated with, somebody who's working with me. They're going through everything. If a deal has no problems at all, because we have I have deals that I submit to clear to close in 10 to 15 days. So those deals don't really need me to do anything. I'm there at the closing table congratulating them because I'm super happy for them, but they don't need me for anything. I can do this deal in my sleep. Pat and Eddie can do this deal without any questions at all. They don't even need to tell me anything about it. I just keep updating everyone to make sure. When the problem happens, that's when I step in. Because think about our expertise, right? We are paid what we are paid because we know how to fix problems and we're experts in what situations are and how to fix them. So if that's what my expertise goes into, that's where I should be spending most of my time. And that's a situation where I don't have to be on the phone 24/7. All I need to do is put my brain to work and figure out how to solve a deal, how to fix a deal. Something comes up, I need to fix it. Making the outbound calls to everyone, because a majority of my business now, surprisingly, has converted to outbound calls, not even inbound calls. If you call me and you have a client, of course you're going to call me or text me. I can never even get you on the phone anymore, so you always text me anyway. So it makes it better. But you don't have to call me and tell me that. You just text me and say, "Hey James, I have a client for you. Take care of this. No problem. I'm on it." And you see I respond right away, or I link you up with somebody. If I'm not available at that exact second, then Pat's available for you. Eddie's available for you. Daphne's available for you. The people who are available for you already. You already know what to do. I don't even need to do anything. You know what I mean? So that's kind of how the systems in place make it very easy for me to do both. Is it difficult? It is the most difficult thing that I've had to face my whole life, probably. The amount I work is ridiculous. The amount I study is ridiculous. The amount of sleep I get is minimal. Like, it's just every single day from the time I wake up to the time I go to sleep. Like, I spend some time on myself because obviously you want to make sure that I'm not going crazy, but like I spend time with my girlfriend at night. Like I always see her whenever I can. Like we're always on FaceTime. But tell me this, having a significant other who supports you with what you're doing is also so important.
Oh yeah, definitely plays a huge factor into your success.
100%.
Because if you're not with the right person, and they could play a big factor into your mindset.
Exactly.
And it could weigh you down, just the negativity, you know what I mean? And you don't need that when you're already stressed out and you're doing a million things.
Yeah.
So I completely agree with you.
It's so important just to like, because shout out to my girlfriend who literally like, if she knows I'm busy, it's fine. If she wants to do something or whatever, and she knows she understands, like, and that's just the sacrifices that I have to make. She has to make, she's super busy too. So it's like beneficial to the both of us that we handle whatever we need to handle. And like, we know that we love each other no matter what, you know what I mean? But like sometimes she's busy, sometimes I'm busy. And that's, something that's really helpful for me too, So it doesn't make being in a relationship difficult at all. It makes it easier for my life, So
I agree. Last question. Give us some apps, some tools that you use as far as like time blocking or automations, like things that you use that other entrepreneurs can use as well, that they could look into, and how it plays a big factor into your success and your business.
I'm about to drop like a few things that you have to download. One, ChatGPT. If you don't know how to use it, you're behind. Honestly, at this point, you really are.
I love ChatGPT.
ChatGPT is what I use for all my emails, my CRM, like writing that I need for any outbound emails, all my circle prospecting, everything. All of it's written by ChatGPT. All I need to do is like add in a few like
sprinkle your little flavor on it.
Yeah, sprinkle some of my own like personalized stuff in there. But like all that is automated. So ChatGPT is perfect for that. In terms of videos and stuff like that, Mike's gonna cut this out. If he leaves this in, you're good. CapCut, 100%. Templates are automatically used. Like you could just like upload any videos you want on there, and like you could just make any video you want. Like for my daily vlogs, I was doing a little bit. I was doing them all through CapCut.
CapCut's a game changer.
Yeah, like you have to download CapCut. It's inexpensive. Like I'm like the biggest preacher of this. Like, yes, having a team behind you. Let me ask you this. All your social media stuff, you have somebody handling it. It makes it easier for you because your time is valuable, right? So having this team making high quality content for you, and they're great at what they do, it makes your life a lot easier because you have to be doing a lot of other things, right? If you don't have that, but if you don't have the funds to do it, if you're not able to, do that, you have a phone. Like, just shoot yourself, whatever you want to do. You don't have to pay for all this stuff. If it makes it easier for you, yes, you should, because it's definitely worth the investment. But if you're not able to do that, don't worry about it. Like, people are still gonna watch you. Like, just do it by yourself, and it costs you nothing. You already have a phone. The apps are free. You just learn how to edit a video on YouTube. You probably don't even have to edit it. You can just take a video and just upload it and add a caption onto it. That's it. That's all you got to do. I don't think anybody's judging anybody based off of their content. It looks nicer if you have somebody else do it, but I'm not looking down on somebody because they're hustling and they're grinding and they're shooting a video on their phone because they're trying to make it, because they will at one point and they'll be able to afford this later on. I'm never judging anybody on that,
I agree. So 1, ChatGPT, 2, CapCut, anything else?
One more. If your lender is not picking up, call me, obviously. But on the weekends, if you need a mortgage, mortgage monthly payment, if you want a semi, close number, like what I used to do. So at Cliffco, what we have is we have a mortgage calculator on the application, so people can automatically just plug in their numbers and get it. But if you're working with like a retail bank that doesn't have something like that or whatever, you as a realtor or a real estate professional should always download the app called Carl's Mortgage Calculator.
Oh yeah, I have that.
Yeah, I think I told you about this before. Carl's Mortgage Calculator is something that you could just plug in the property price, the down payment amount, what the taxes are. You're not going to know what the mortgage insurance is on it because obviously that's self-populated by the loan officer. But you can kind of look up some calculators for that. If you need an automated number for that, just plug in the homeowner's insurance, property taxes, purchase price, everything, and you'll be able to get a rough idea of what the monthly payment could be. But yeah, I think that's a good one too, that everyone should definitely have. If you want to know like what a monthly payment number is, you need something quick, like they can help you too.
All right. ChatGPT, CapCut, Cars Mortgage Calculator.
Those three.
Those three. All right, awesome.
But,
well, I appreciate all the information, man. I know this is
course.
going to help a lot of people as far as time blocking and doing, setting the right automations, the right systems in order to become even more successful. So anything you could leave us off with?
I would say the last thing I will touch base on is, I know we talk about this a lot. We talk about mindset a lot. And I think it would be a disservice if we didn't talk about this as the last thing, because that is like the biggest thing that's helped me throughout my career is like my mindset on things, right? So the way we grew up, obviously we grew up different. Everyone has to go through things in life that are difficult, right? The way you react to those things make you the person that you are. And it's very easy to have difficult things in your life just throw you away from what you really want to do in life. But I'm telling you, and I'm sure you'll say the same thing, everyone who's watching this, you're taking time out of your day to watch this video. You're on a mission, and don't let anybody take you off that mission, right? Make sure that every single day you wake up, you manifest what you want, and you know that what you want is going to happen to you, and you will get it. And don't take no for an answer from anybody, right? Always make strategic moves. Always work towards your goals. Always make sure that even if people think you're crazy, like people think I'm crazy doing the stuff I'm doing, it does not bother me. Like I know I can do it. You could do anything you want to do in life, and I just want to say that.
Well, you heard it here. Hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell, share this episode with somebody who needs to hear this.
And follow us on Instagram.
Yes, follow us on Instagram. You know where to reach us. I appreciate the knowledge. I appreciate the value. And again, congratulations on all your success, man.
I appreciate it.
We'll keep watching and seeing you grow.
Yes, we will. This whole year, 2024, we're taking over. But that was the latest episode of the Real Estate and Chill podcast. We will see you next time.
If you're watching this episode and you still haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Subscribe now. It's free. Also, hit the like button and the notification bell. Share this episode with a friend. Don't forget to shop your real estate merch on our website. Real Estate and Chill, bringing you the hottest real estate interviews. Let's get it.